Okay, hello and welcome to our latest webinar, EDI integration for the Sage 50 accounts and Sage 200. Before we start, I'd just like to say, if you do have any questions during the session, please type them into the box on the right of your screen and we'll try to answer them at the end. Okay, I'd just like to take this chance to introduce myself and the other panelists we have on the webinar today. My name is Robert Simpson, and I am the European Marketing Director for TrueCommerce. We also have David Vickers, who is a Senior Solutions Architect, and Giles Smith, who's a software developer here at TrueCommerce.
Hi.
Okay, so during this webinar, we're going to cover what the actual integration does, the key features and functionality, the benefits that this functionality and features bring. Then David is going to take us through the one-time platform demo, followed by Giles, who will be taking us through the Sage demo, looking from a Sage perspective. And then I'll just spend a minute or so just to cover off who we are as TrueCommerce and what we do. Okay, so what does the actual integration do? So I've pretty much written it here, but I'll just read it so we can all understand. The TrueCommerce Sage 50 and 200 integration allows any business running one of these ERP systems to automate the passing of orders and invoices between their trading partners and their ERP system. This automation then removes the need to manually move this information between your EDI and ERP solutions. Now, I'd just like to take you through some of the key features of the Sage EDI integration. Firstly, the combination of the one-time platform alongside the new Sage integration means you can still benefit from the robust data management and processing engine one-time provides, whilst the integration automates the whole process, so you only ever have to log into your ERP to manage your orders and invoices. It allows the ability to automate all transactions, so the end-to-end process can be completed with no user interaction. And email and desktop notifications then always ensure your business is kept up to date with new order and invoices, as well as processing and network errors. There are additional process controls and functionality, such as the ability to override the Sage price and assign an EDI price. Assigning a warehouse and calculating invoice lines are also available. Now, I just want to take a minute to summarize the benefits of these key features that these key features provide. The integration provides a complete end-to-end solution, meaning you can eliminate manual entry, streamline your order-to-cash process, and remove the need to log onto multiple platforms. This includes all purchase orders and invoices, which allows your business to free up resource and focus on other priorities. All this is wrapped within our fully managed service, which includes trading partner onboarding, which means our managed service team will look after the setup, configuration, and mapping of new trading partners on your behalf. The TrueCommerce managed service also utilizes a number of network tools and processes, which allows us to deliver proactive service monitoring. This means we can very quickly identify any issues in the wider network and work with trading and network partners to resolve the issues before they have a chance to cause a problem. This is part of our day-to-day support, which means we always have a managed service representative at the end of the phone who is happy to help with any queries. This service is also very flexible and scalable to cater for different sizes of business in different sectors. All these points mean you no longer need to worry about having specialist EDI knowledge internally, as our managed service team will act as an extension to your operations, ensuring you have an efficient and seamless end-to-end solution, which allows you to focus on more important priorities on a day-to-day basis. Okay, now I'd like to pass over to my colleague, David Vickers, who will take you through the Sage integration from the one-time platform perspective. I'll just give him 2 seconds to show his screen, and it may just take him a few seconds.
First of all, welcome everybody. First of all, Robert, I'm going to describe this diagram of yours before switching to my screen. So one-time service runs in a IBM data center and is responsible for collecting your orders from your customer using whatever communications method your customer chooses and in whatever format your customer chooses. And one-time collects those and stores them in the one-time system. Having stored them there, validated them, it will then take those orders and send them through to the Sage publisher. Left of the red line is your Sage environment, and Giles is going to talk about the Sage publisher shortly. Right of the line is all of the EDI world, and so the concept is that orders are collected from your customer, stored in one time, passed to the Sage publisher, and then imported into Sage. Invoices take the opposite route, exported from Sage into the Sage publisher, which passes them to one time. And one time then knows what format the invoice needs to be in to go to your customer and how to get it there. And it will convert it into that format, send it to the customer, and ensure that it is delivered correctly and on time. Because all of the data is going through this central one-time database, we can provide you with track and trace facilities so that if there are any queries and you wish to view orders or invoices going through the system, you can do so. But as Robert described, there is a one-time managed service desk that will be monitoring for any alerts and resolving them on your behalf. However, everything is visible to you, and what I'm going to do now is to log on to OneTime using the portal to show you what you can see on OneTime. Thank you. If you can just confirm you can see my screen, Robert?
Yeah, we can see that.
Okay, so you can use any supported browser and you will log on to the OneTime system. Now in your company you could have multiple sign-ons. You could have some for accounts payable, some for trading, handling the orders, and what they can see and what they can do is controlled by the permissions of their logon. So I'm just logging on as a typical supplier using Sage, and the welcome screen says this system allows you to view and track the flow of messages. You don't need to log on here because we'll do it for you. And the other thing that the portal will let you do is if there are other transactions that you don't have integrated into Sage that you need to send, for example, a price file to Sainsbury's or whatever, then the OneTime portal will allow you to create and send those additional message types. Okay, I'll just show you two quick logons, or two quick views. So first of all, a view that might be used by a business person with no knowledge of IT and no knowledge of EDI. And they just go in and say, I want to see my orders. And there would be a set of orders there that have arrived from your customers. You can choose, so this display is in sections. These sections display information about the order. This could be your Sage customer numbers, obviously their order numbers, but you can choose which columns you wish to see here by using this view profile screen. You might choose to see delivery dates or value of orders. So you have a list of the orders. The second, and you can view those orders. Just hang on a second. Okay.
think we've just got a few audio issues there with David. Should be back any second.
Okay, sorry. Here you can see the header of the order, the lines, and there's no need to know anything about EDI. And the idea here is that if you want to go and find an order or an invoice, there are very good search facilities where you can go and search by order number or by customer, date ranges. You can even search for all of the orders containing a specific item code. Okay, so, and having found that order, you can view it. You can output a spreadsheet of all of the orders, and you can view it as a PDF, and then you can print anything that PDF. Okay, and all of your orders will look in exactly the same format from every customer. Again, this is customizable to include the fields that you want included. That's a view of orders and invoices and searching. From a business point of view, from a IT point of view, then I'll show you one of these screens. So this shows a list of all of the transactions that have gone through your system. And typically, you would have a whole string of just green here. Again, you can go and search by order number. You can also search if Tesco say to you, have you got order with file generation ABC? You can search for file generation numbers, etc. So we're now into EDI and IT world. So what this is showing you is that the file arrived. So this is an invoice file that came out of Sage, and we've received it. We've done some validation, and we've put it into the one-time database. Having done, and everything is obviously date and time stamped, and our managed service team monitor for any transaction that spends longer than the expected amount of time at any of these steps. Okay, having got it into the database, we take it out, put it in the format that the customer wants, send it to the customer, and we will receive an acknowledgement from the customer as and when they receive the file. Okay, you can also come in here if you're interested. So this, and click here, and this would display the file that arrived from Sage. And you can go further down this system, and if it had been sent, you would be able to click here and see the file of invoices in the format it was actually sent to Asda. So we're not hiding anything from you, but we do find that our clients tend not to log on and look at this after the first couple of weeks when they're comfortable that the system's working. Okay. And as an overview of what the system does, obviously you can dig deeper into all aspects of it and spend a couple of hours looking at this, but I was asked to give you a 5-minute overview of what the one-time EDI gateway would do for you. And now I believe we're going to pass over to Giles to look at the Sage Publisher aspect.
Okay, thank you, David, for the one-time demo. Now, as David says, Giles will be showing us how this all looks from within Sage. Again, I'll just give him 2 seconds just to show his screen to us all. Yeah, we can see that, Giles.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you, David. You can see Sage 200.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks. As Robert and David had said, I'm going to just demonstrate what it looks like from the Sage side. So this is from the perspective of either yourselves, if you're Sage users, or from your clients. This is the typical view you'll see in Sage 200. We also support Sage 50. As David said, what we're trying to what we have with OneTime is a managed service that is taking away all the EDI aspects from you. So what we want on the actual Sage system is a very minimally invasive, very minimal configuration system. So the piece is merely responsible for ensuring that the documents from OneTime are put into Sage and taken, your invoices are taken out from Sage and sent to OneTime, and just minimal notifications for you that that's happened. So there's no large application to be seen on your local Sage system. What you will see is the little high jump icon down here, which just indicates that it is connected. And in a normal situation, everything will run automatically. So we'll typically configure your system to download your orders at regular periods and to upload your invoices at regular periods. That is configurable as to your requirements. The orders and invoices can be configured separately. We also provide the ability that you can manually trigger them if you want, and that's what I'll demonstrate here rather than waiting for a certain cycle to complete. So here we're just looking at Sage 200. And what I'm going to do is to send a simulate a order coming in over OneTime. Okay, and so normally that would happen automatically, but if I right-click this icon here and say document processing, I can just trigger this off manually. Now what you see appearing here is this little notification that says the order has been imported. And if you click the link on it, you'll see the notification history, which is these are all the messages you've received from OneTime as it's integrated to your Sage system. And you can see here that it's saying that the order, and then it gives you the customer order number, this number here, from test 2, that's the account code, so that would be whatever your Sage account codes are, has been imported into Sage, and it gives you the Sage order number that it's been imported as. So typically you would only see that green box flash up if you've got everything configured to be running automatically. Now if we just go into Sage and refresh the screen, we should see 5139 at the bottom. Now I'll just take you through the steps that you'll typically go through in creating an invoice based upon this order, just so you can see the full cycle. So the first thing we'd have to do in Sage is just to allocate the stock. And for any of you who aren't familiar with Sage 200, this is all Sage 200 now. This is not any of the OneTime or the OneTime connector. Okay, so the stock has been allocated. And the next step would be to dispatch the stock. So we'll just have to save those changes. Apologies that this is a little bit sluggish, it's a remote connection. And it's confirmed the goods have been dispatched. And then we print the invoice. So these are just the normal steps that the accounts team will go through. Print the invoice. And then you'll see that the sales order is in a live state if we finally post the order. Just enter the order number 5139 and post it. And we now refresh the screen. We should see that the order has been completed. Now that is now in a state that it's ready to be picked up by the connector and sent to OneTime and sent to the trading partner. Now normally, as I said before, that would happen automatically. If you wish to run it manually, or as I'm doing so just for demonstration purposes, we can come back to here and say process the invoices out of Sage and send them. and we see the message appear once again that a document's been processed successfully, and we see that the invoice number has been sent. So that completes the cycle for orders and invoices. I think when everything's running smoothly, there'll be very little need for interaction with the one-time connect. You'd simply see the messages that orders had come in or invoices had gone out. There's a small amount of configuration that you can do just to indicate which account codes you wish to collect invoices for, which you can enter in this screen here. But beyond that, any other configuration is done by our team at install time, and there's no other interaction required with the system. I will now hand you back to Robert to handle any questions that anyone has.
Thank you, Giles. Now, if we can just move back to our slides. Now, I just want to take a minute to explain who TrueCommerce are and where we've come from. So TrueCommerce represent the coming together of a number of market-leading EDI companies within Europe, including Atlas and We Supply in the UK and B2BI in Denmark. It is also worth mentioning that our operations are not exclusive to Europe. We also have an equal-sized presence in the US, as the numbers you can now see summarise. This means we have the scale and expertise to help any company with their EDI solution, regardless of size or location. Now, we do have a couple of questions that have been submitted whilst we've been talking, so I'll just run through them, as many of them as we can in the time we've got. So the first one we've got here, and I'll fire this towards Giles, I think. Do we have support for all versions of Sage 50 and 200, or which version do we have support for?
Thanks, Robert. We're currently supporting Sage 200 2016 and Sage 50 2016 and 2017. They're the versions that are out there live already. However, we have the capability to support earlier versions from Sage 200 2011, that's version 8, and Sage 50 2013, which is version 19, and we can support all the versions in between.
Brilliant, thanks, Giles. Second one we've got here is, let me have a look. What message types does the Sage integration support?
At the moment, we're supporting sales orders in and sales invoices out. They're the two document types at the moment.
Perfect, that makes sense. And then the other one I have here is, how are unrecognized products and account codes handled?
Okay. Well, unrecognized products and account codes can be recognized by the one-time managed service. So this allows the one-time support team to handle those issues on your behalf. If they can resolve them, the issues themselves, they'll just do so. But if they do require your input because they require a different account code from you or a different product code, they will proactively contact you for that information. So the ethos is very much on managed service, that we're taking away as much as we possibly can of looking after the EDI and B2B side for you, so that you can concentrate on the business side.
Okay, thank you for that, Giles. I think that makes sense. I think that's pretty much all we've got time for in terms of questions today. If you do have any further questions, please feel free to contact us using the details shown here on the slide. The slides will be sent to all registered attendees in the next couple of days, so you'll have them via email. I think all that remains for me to say is thank you, and we hope you found the webinar useful, and we hope to see you at future webinars and events that we'll be holding throughout the year. Thank you and bye.
Thank you all. Bye.